Thanks for checking out this edition of This Week in the World of Football, coming to you live from the fabulous World of Football Man Cave, located in the center of the football world, Kalamazoo, Michigan. The purpose of this podcast is to promote the game of football in all its many forms, past, present, and future. We hope to educate, inform, and entertain you with the glorious buffet that is the world of football, while also keeping a close eye on the rich history of the game. You can find the show after it's aired live on a multitude of podcasting platforms, as well as right here on YouTube along with past shows. If you want to connect with us, just find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Threads. Those links will be down in the episode description. Remember to comment, like, and share this video. If you have thoughts or comments during the show, drop them into the live chat and maybe you'll see your name on screen. If you have questions and they are deemed appropriate, they'll be answered at the end of the broadcast. So without further ado, let's kick off this week's show.
Hello again, everyone. This is episode number 424 for December 16th, 2025, and I am your host, Randy Snow. On this week's show, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza wins the 91st Heisman Trophy, the college bowl season is underway, and the Arena League and Arena Football 1 both released their 2026 schedules. But I'm not here all by myself. Across the internet from me in another part of Kalamazoo is my son, Adam.
Hey, how's it going? I just realized I didn't change my helmets up there yet for Lions Steelers. But I do have my Western Michigan MAC champion shirt on today. Oh, boy, I was so happy to find that out and about Kalamazoo. And the Broncos play this weekend, so I'm super excited about that. Heck yeah, we got a lot going on, Randy. Goodness gracious, we are busy folk here at the Christmas season. Have you been out and about?
The world of football never sleeps. No, I have not been out of the house. I stepped out just for a minute this morning, but it's still very, very cold. But it's supposed to be warming up from here on out.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about, I hate shopping and going to the store this time of year. Yesterday was, me and the kid were walking around the store, and both of us were like, we don't want to be here, but we have to do this and knock it out. Oh, God, it's so busy. There's too many people.
I know.
I hate the Christmas season out and about shopping. It's stupid.
Yep.
I'm just trying to get groceries, and y'all are buying God knows what. I don't know what people are buying.
I'm very bah humbug towards a lot of the Christmas activities. I just want to stay home and forget about it.
I want to get into the Christmas spirit. It's been hard the last couple of years. It just seems like our Christmas decorations have dwindled each year, especially now that, I guess I could say it out loud. It's public now. Now that we have a baby on the way, it's just we've got so much. That's why everything's been crazy. There we go. I didn't mean to. I wasn't even going to try to bring it up today. It's just, it's crazy.
Yeah. I'm already looking past the holidays to getting into next year already. So let's just get the holidays over with. Okay. Not only do we have this weekly podcast, but we also make YouTube content. Currently, we have over 730 videos. I think we're at 735 right this minute. This one will be 736 on our YouTube channel, with the newest ones being our NFL picks video for week 15 last week. We did that. And we did episode 3 of Inside the Arsenal about the open tryouts. That was a nice video you put together from all the stuff we took the day we were there. And Just Lying Around, episode 71 last night, you and Kyle finally got around to talking about a game. You had to talk about 3 games because it's been a while since you guys did this.
Man.
But Lions-Rams game.
Well, I tell you, my schedule is crazy. It's crazy. And then me and Kyle trying to match up our 2 crazy schedules is even crazier. But then also him going, hey, if the Lions win, we're doing it. If they lose, we'll do it tomorrow. That's where we were Sunday. Otherwise we would have gotten it knocked out. But yeah, it's all good. But also upcoming, Randy. So we got the next video of the picks tomorrow night, 7:00. All you pickers. I know there's some people in the chat. I see some of y'all there. Oh, and thank you, Real Lancaster. Yep, I'm very excited about that. Appreciate that. So we got the picks coming tomorrow night, guys. That'll be fun. Those are one of our favorite shows to do because we get a lot of great interactions with people. And then we also got upcoming episode 4 of Inside the Arsenal. It is in the process of being edited right now. We already recorded it. It's in the can. I know we're going to talk AF1 schedule later on, but this is all about the Arsenal schedule, and we talk a little bit about the opponents and all that. It's shaping up to be a good one, Rainey. I'm not just saying it because I'm sitting here editing it, fiendishly, but it should be a lot of fun, and that'll be out soon, I guess I'll say.
Did you want to mention the other video that we're going to be doing tonight?
Oh, yes. If you guys haven't been paying attention to the social medias, we will be, after this live stream is over, we get like an hour or two break, and then we will be joining our friends at AF1 Fan Zone and being on the Off the Wall YouTube channel to talk a little Arena Football Antiquities, or the show is being called Arena Football Antiques at Home Show, or Antiques Home Show. It's gone through a title change, I think, and I like Trey's little edit there with some tape,
right?
So that we don't get sued by
good.
Antiques Roadshow. This was an idea that we threw out there a long time ago. I just like off the cuff mentioned it to Off the Wall, and here we are. It's about to be a thing, and you got, so nobody can see this, guys. A little peel behind the curtain. Randy's literally got so much Arena Football crap sitting around him right now.
I've been spending all day long getting stuff out of the basement, finding stuff I haven't seen in years, which were right over there in the corner of the man cave, which I didn't even know was there. I got a ton of stuff, probably way too much for the show, but I'll try to be a little selective. But yeah, I'd rather have more stuff than not enough. So yeah, I've got more stuff than I need right now.
Yeah, so make sure you guys come check out Off the Wall's YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed, get over there, subscribe, hit the little bell so you know when the show starts. 7:00 Eastern. Us, our friends from AF1 Fan Zone, that's Scott Burke and our friend Tim Capper is going to stop by. I know Tim's got his Alouettes finale that he's doing for Alouettes Flight Deck tonight too. So Tim will hop on for a little bit before he does that stuff. Right. And then obviously Trey, Off the Wall guru himself, the darling of the indoor and arena football social media sphere. We will be on his channel, and we are so happy to hang out with him. He's always a blast to hang out with. So that's tonight, guys. Be sure to check out the Arena Football Antiques Home Show, where Randy's going to show you a bunch of crap his wife wants him to get rid of.
No way in HE double hockey sticks. No way. Let's see. Okay. And of course, we're going to have our week 16 picks coming up, and
that's what I already talked about.
Yep, 425 of this show. So, all right. So let's begin our weekly tour around the world of football, and we're going to start off this week with Adam and scores from the NFL.
Yes, scores. If the NFL website would cooperate with me here, and I can recap everything. How much football did you watch this past weekend, Dad? Because it was an interesting slate this past weekend.
I watched hardly anything. When the Lions are playing at 4:00, I don't watch any of the 1:00 games. I just go right to that, and then I barely check out the Sunday night game, Monday night game, maybe a little bit, not a whole lot. Depends on who's playing. But, I'll watch Peyton and Eli. I'll watch that broadcast for a while and see who they're talking about. But yeah, I did not see a whole lot this weekend. But I got all the scores.
Okay, well, I got scores. We're gonna going through them, guys. If you're in the chat right now, why don't you tell us your favorite moment from the NFL weekend? We'll try to highlight those as we fly through this scoreboard, starting with the Atlanta Falcons upsetting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 29-28 with a field goal to end that game. My big takeaway from this, other than Tampa Bay's terrible clock management, then the head coach's cuss word laden press conference afterwards. I'm waiting to see if he gets fined for some of that. And it's really weird because when I read that he had a cuss laden post game, and I was expecting him to be loud and angry, but Todd Bowles is just so level, like he's cussing. You're just like, it was so weird. We're sitting there cussing, but the uniforms, they let the Falcons wear their black throwback uniforms with the red helmets, and then the Bucs got to wear their creamsicles. NFL needs to do this more. I loved this. The aesthetic was awesome. Tampa Bay's end of game management, clock management, atrocious, but we all won with that uniform matchup, and Atlanta with the surprising win. Again, Atlanta up and down all year. Tampa Bay can't make heads or tails. That's just been this NFL season. We've been saying it now for like 12 weeks. We can't make heads or tails of this league.
It's still that way, yeah.
It's utterly wild. I can't remember a season this crazy. All right, we're going to move on. The Cleveland Browns let Lions fans down by falling to the Chicago Bears 31-3. Oh my God. I caught the end of this game. I saw the score and I just stood there with my arms crossed saying, God, I hate rooting for Cleveland because they never help you out. The one time I root for Shedeur Sanders, you can't do nothing.
Yeah.
So the Bears take that one. Congratulations, Bears fans. Whatever. Move on. The Baltimore Ravens shut out the Cincinnati Bengals 24-0. The Houston Texans took care of the Arizona Cardinals 40-20. The Jacksonville Jaguars hung 48 points up against the New York Jets 48-20. And I believe the Jets did fire their defensive coordinator, Steve Wilkes, yesterday. So head coach Aaron Glenn already making some coaching moves there. The Los Angeles Chargers beat the Kansas City Chiefs 16-13. This effectively eliminated the Kansas City Chiefs from the playoffs for the first time since
it's been like 12 or 14 years. I don't know the year, but
2014, I believe, is the year. Patrick Mahomes was still a freshman at Texas Tech the last time they didn't make the playoffs. Utterly wild. And then on top of it, of course, Patrick Mahomes going down with the it was an ACL.
I think so.
There were a couple of ACLs this weekend. So he's out for the rest of the year. I guess he had surgery last night or this morning. So his season's done.
Yeah.
Kansas City season's done. Is Travis Kelce's season done as he prepares for his wedding with Taylor Swift this offseason? Who knows? These are the burning questions we here at the World of Football have, especially Randy, the secret.
Yeah, it's not really burning. It's kind of a smoldering, whatever.
Let's see. The Buffalo Bills came back against the New England Patriots and won 35-31. Yeah, I saw at one point the Patriots were up 21-0, and then the Bills were able to surge back and take that one. The Commanders beat the Giants 29-21. They snapped an 8-game losing streak. The Philadelphia Eagles shut out the Raiders 31-0.
Yeah, that's 2 shutouts this week. That's so unusual. 2 shutouts this week.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time that's happened, having 2 shutouts in the same week. It took us a long time to just get 1 shutout this season.
Sure, yeah.
Let's see. And probably one of the games of the week, the Denver Broncos came back to beat the Green Bay Packers 34-26. The big story from this game, obviously, other than the Denver Broncos now just taking control of the AFC, is Micah Parsons going down with that ACL tear as well, or that non-contact, or is it MCL? I always get those mixed up, but that sucks. I mean, I do feel bad. Look, I know Detroit couldn't beat him. I hate the Packers, but you hate to see a guy who's on the top of his game and he goes out with a non-contact like that. It was just, you hate to see that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then, of course, our beloved Detroit Lions fell to the Los Angeles Rams 41-34. You were in the chat last night as Kyle and I did that episode, Dad. What were some of your thoughts on this Lions game?
Well, I agree with the comment you made during the show. It reminded me a lot of the San Francisco playoff game a couple of years ago, where they had a big lead at halftime and they blew it in the second half and lost. And that was the same thing. You know, they had a lead on the Rams. They were playing well. You know, that interception by Hutchinson right in Matthew Stafford's face and running it for 50-some yards back. That was a thing of beauty. And they scored on, one play after that. But yeah, they played well in the first half, and I don't know what happened in the second half. I think that controversial touchdown was a big changer in the game. You know, that like took the wind right out of the sails of the Lions. I'm not saying that's the reason for it, but that was a big part of it. It's like, and one of the replays that I saw, the ball clearly was out of his hands. That should have been an incomplete pass because his knee was down, but he dropped it. He did not complete the process, I'm sorry to say. So that should have been an incomplete pass, if nothing else. But yeah, to call it a touchdown when his knee was down and then he was a yard away from it. No, that was crap. Total crap.
Yeah, when your rules analysts and your officials can't all like explain it away, it was a botch call, to say the least. It is what it is. Did that, like I said in the show, did that affect, did the refereeing actually cost the Lions the game? No. The Lions being inept for 3 drives was the killer. And that's not on the refs. That's on the Lions and their offense that has mood swings where they're super hot, then all of a sudden they get super cold. A defense that's banged up. I mean, it is what it is. And obviously Matthew Stafford playing at a MVP level.
Yeah.
He
know how good he is.
He's great. I
Yeah.
mean, Matthew Stafford will always have a special place in my heart. Except when we play him, then I hate the guy. But there was like one play in particular that kind of encapsulated what Matthew Stafford is. And the dude's a baller. Like that play where I forget if it was Hutch, somebody got right in his face, about to get a sack, and he got it out so fast. He recognized what happened. He recognized that his blocker did not pick up the assignment, and Stafford was still able to get it out of there. Like you could see it on his face. He's like, "Oh crap!" And then he got it out and made the completion. That's Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. We've seen that for many years in Detroit.
And the Rams are a great team. Good coaching, good defense, good offense. They're one of the best in the NFC. So the fact that the Lions had a lead for a little bit said something for a minute, and then the Rams just outlast them, and that says something too.
Yep.
The New Orleans Saints beat the Carolina Panthers 20-17. And Phillip Rivers' return. He unfortunately almost got the win, but it was like a battle of field goals in this one as the Seahawks beat the Colts 18-16. The San Francisco 49ers had I would say a tough time with the Titans, but the Titans gave them a run for their money for a little bit. The Niners coming out on that one 37-24. And then your Sunday night game, the Dallas Cowboys fall to the Minnesota Vikings 34-26, eliminating the Cowboys from the wild card, not the playoffs. I got confused last time or this morning when I was looking at it. It said eliminated, but then you think about it, they have like a slight chance to still win their division. So the Cowboys not eliminated officially, but they can't get a wild card spot.
Right. Division or nothing for them now.
Right. And then last night, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Miami Dolphins 28-15. And I will admit, those are my favorite Steeler uniforms, the ones they wore last night. And that is your scoreboard around the NFL. I'm going to highlight real quick some people, their thoughts from the games this past week. Viking Wax Press, of course. Vikings beating the Cowboys was the highlight of his week. You don't say. Not a shocker there. Dale has to admit that his hometown team, the Bills, coming back to win after being down 21 points. That is very impressive. Lancaster, the Eagles shutting out the Raiders and getting a 99% chance to make the playoffs. Must be nice. Viking Express. Also, the Falcons game made me miss having Cousins on my team. Say what you will about Kirk Cousins. Like, he can still sling it. He's got his rough games, but man, when he's on, Kirk Cousins, is a pretty decent quarterback.
I thought Phillip Rivers really surprised me at how well he played.
Right.
I did not expect that from him, and he played very well.
Oh, he played pretty good for a guy who hasn't played in 5 years.
Yep.
And then let's see, John B. Jenkins saying the Panthers lost because he had to work a Christmas party. So his bad, Panther Nation. That's right. Go blame John, everybody. If you're a Panthers fan, that's the guy to blame. Lancaster, sadly, will probably miss most of next season as well with an ACL tear. I'm not sure if you're referring to Micah or if you're referring to
Mahomes.
Patrick. I feel like Patrick will be okay.
Yeah, he'll probably.
I need a little clarification there. Dale, that is another issue altogether. The reffing in all the games was terrible. Across the league, it's bad. And I know the officiating contract is due, I think, at the end of the year or next year. So just make it full time, guys. Good Lord. Let's just fix this. It's never going to be perfect, but we can fix it a little bit.
The NFL does not want to fix it. They like the controversy, and they're going to do whatever the hell they want. Sorry.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Lancaster, Rivers played admirably. That was so close. And he also reminds us 1% chance for Dallas to make the playoffs and win that division. So slim.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yep, there we go. We're on the same page there. Little Dumb and Dumber for you. All right, Dad, what are some of the news stories you got from NFL this week?
Well, 4 teams this week were eliminated: the Chiefs, Bengals, Vikings, and the Dolphins. So right now there are and the Broncos and Rams did clinch playoff spots. So that's your first.
They did. Yep. Forgot to mention spots. That. Yep.
So 13 teams now eliminated: Giants, Cardinals, Titans, Saints, Raiders, Commanders, Falcons, Jets, Browns, Chiefs, Bengals, and Dolphins. 13 teams not going to be dancing in the playoffs this year. And that's about all I got.
All right. What are we moving on to next?
We're going to go on to some college scores, bowl games, and the first game that we're going to talk about is the 126th Army-Navy game. I watched a good share of this, and let me tell you, if you didn't watch this game, Army was in control of this game until late in the fourth quarter when Navy scored a touchdown and an extra point to take a 1-point lead, and they were able to hang on. Navy, they were one of the undefeated teams this year, right up till week 8 or 9 or something like that. So I think they've got 10 wins this year, so they're like 10-2. But man, oh man, what a great uniforms as always. Great atmosphere, seeing all the cadets, and the midshipmen in the stands, watching the game, rooting for their team. Just an awesome sight. I've always said this. That's one of my bucket list items, is to go to an Army Navy game sometime. So it was a lot of fun to watch. Gary Danielson, former Lions quarterback, been doing calling college games for the last 20 years or whatever, and this was like his 20th, 25th Army Navy game. So he's entrenched in that game as well. Just a lot of fun to watch. A great game, and I can't say enough good things about the Army Navy game.
Well, speaking of the game, real quick, obviously our friend Viking Wax Press watched the game for the helmet matchup. Can't wait to see Royce. Maybe you need an Army Navy helmet ranking video. Just those two teams.
Like the top 10 Army. Every year they do a different set of helmets. Top 10 Army Navy combos.
The video makes itself there, Royce. And then he said Navy helmets are amazing. They are pretty good. They did a really good job. I like that helmet quite a bit this year.
Yeah.
And there you go. Great idea. We'll expect a check in the mail. Or you can have Randy on there with you, maybe, if you can convince him to rank Army Navy helmets. Yeah. Randy's not a ranking guy, but
well, he's changing his ranking system, so maybe I can understand it now.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah. All right. Worst bowl. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just making sure that was on to the next thing.
Yeah, on to the next thing. Bowl games. Let's see. There was the at the FCS level, there was the HBCU National Championship game, the Celebration Bowl, which I misspoke about last week, and it was featured South Carolina State defeating Prairie View A&M by the score of 40-38 in quadruple overtime.
My Lord.
I'm sorry I didn't catch a whole lot of this game. I might have caught a few minutes early on. I didn't get to see the halftime show. I always enjoyed doing that. But quadruple overtime for the Celebration Bowl. So congratulations, South Carolina State. You definitely earned it this year. And then there was also the LA Bowl, Washington over Boise State, 38-10. And I guess this is going to be the last of the LA Bowls. They've been doing it for six years now. And because of the conference realignments and whatever, they're not going to have an LA Bowl. It'll just come back as something different, but it's not going to be called the LA Bowl anymore. And then tonight, there's actually a bowl game tonight, the Salute to Veterans Bowl, Troy versus Jacksonville State. And so got nothing better to do tonight. Well, no, you can't watch it tonight because you got to watch us on Off the Wall. So you can't check out that game. You got to.
I could have scripted that any better. Randy did it himself, everybody. I didn't even have to help set that up. He did it all by himself. I was thinking it and you did it. That was awesome. Great. Applause to you, Randy. You're learning.
Great minds think alike, so I have no idea how that happens between you and me. All right, let's see. In some college news, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza wins the 91st Heisman Trophy. He gave a great speech after that. Did you watch any of the presentation?
So Saturday I was entrenched in my wife's side of the family Christmas thing we had going on. So I was not in front of a TV at all that day. It was literally driving to Indiana, driving back from Indiana, going over to their house here in town, and then being there playing games and opening presents and stuff. Yeah, so there's no TV at all for me Saturday.
No, he went right over to his folks. Instead of going up on stage, he went right over to his folks, and especially his mom, and gave them hugs before he went up on stage. And he had, such nice things to say about his parents and all his teammates. Is this guy for real? I mean, he just seems like he's too nice to be real, but I guess that's just him. And he made a great speech. I thought he wasn't looking at any notes. I don't know if they had it on a teleprompter for him or what, but yeah, he didn't take up any notes with him. He just speaking from the heart, and he gave a great speech. Take it from a Toastmaster. He did a great job as it.
And you know who we need to ask then? We got an inside man, Randy. We just have to ask cousin Nathan. Is he really that nice? Is he?
I'm sure he will say he absolutely is. So
I'm sure. Nothing but great things about that IU football program, I'm sure, is all we'd hear.
Right. And he is the first player ever from Indiana to win a Heisman Trophy. So you add another
That's
school to the
awesome.
list of schools that have Heisman Trophy winners.
What a historic season for that program. I mean,
Yes.
Indiana
And
to
it's
me
not
has
over
always
yet.
been a team that's just been, and there's Indiana. You have these big
Right.
conferences, and there's always like, oh yeah, there's Indiana. Oh yeah, there's Purdue. Right. Oh yeah, there's Illinois. Don't really amount to much.
Yep.
Kudos to Indiana for and their head coach there, Signetti, for flipping that program around. And for cousin Nathan to be there to see that all firsthand has got to be some of the coolest things he will never forget. So that's awesome.
Yep, absolutely.
Dale in the comments, Dad says you're making him sound like he's the next Mr. Rogers.
No, I was going to say he kind of reminds me of Tim Tebow. Where everybody thought Tim Tebow was too nice. And it kind of worked against Tim Tebow, but yeah, this guy, he's just a big smile on his face, just a happy kid, appreciative of what he's accomplished and what he's been handed in life. And just a great story, I think. All right, we're going to move on to a not so great story. Michigan head coach Sharon Moore. We're not going to talk about this a whole lot, but Michigan.
Are we not?
Sharon Moore was fired, and then later on arrested for stalking somebody. I don't even want to get into it all. It's all very confusing. There's still stuff coming out about this. I don't know what's going on, but all I can say is that Bill Poggi is the interim head coach, and so he's going to be taking over immediately for them. But what a story out of Ann Arbor! I'm telling you, it's
wild.
Couldn't believe it.
Can I ask you what you were doing when you found this out? We're not Michigan fans technically. Like obviously we, our brother-in-law is a big Michigan fan. We know Michigan fans, family members of Michigan fans. What were you doing when you found out?
I don't recall. At first, I'm like, well, all they said was, he was fired, and so I'm like, well, I don't know. Michigan's been in a bit of an upheaval ever since Jim Harbaugh left, so it didn't really surprise me that he didn't win the Big Ten title. So I thought maybe that was what was going on at first, but I really don't know. So I wasn't living and breathing for every little bit of news on this story at all. So I couldn't tell you what I was doing when I heard it first.
So I was washing dishes, and I'm just sitting there. I usually put my phone up above the windowsill there, and I'm doing dishes, just minding my own business. I see a thing flash by that says Sharon Moore fired by Michigan. I'm like, whoa, that's interesting. That's kind of crazy. And then went to finishing dishes, kept going. Then it turned into he's now been arrested. I'm just like, hold on. What, and all the wild stuff that starts coming out around this story. We don't have to deep dive into it. I'm sure everybody out there has already heard maybe too much about this thing and already know about it. That's fine. Yep. We usually talk about it here just for historical purposes and archival purposes that we touched on some of these big things. But the fact that all this stuff with a staffer and the going to her house and all these wild allegations, him being in jail, it's just, this story just kept getting weirder and crazier. The more updates came out, social media was flooded with this stuff, and it's just wild. I'm sure it hasn't been, my wife did say the best thing though when this was all happening. She's like, this will probably all make a great Netflix documentary one of these days. And I was like, you're not wrong. This is going to be a wild one. So,
and the story still,
the story's still unfolding. But now, who does Michigan hire? They're so late in the process. They already bypassed a couple of things where, like, they should have fired him sooner or done something sooner because they got recruits that already committed. They got all these other things, and then they got more stuff coming that they need a head coach. So Michigan's in a weird spot. I'm not saying it's impossible for them to get back on track, but man, this is not a good thing for that program right now.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to some other scores. We're going to move on to some FCS scores. It was the quarterfinal round at the FCS level in college football. Villanova over Tarleton State, 26-21. Montana over South Dakota, 52-22. Montana State over Stephen F. Austin, 44-28. And Illinois State over UC Davis, 42-31. And we go to the Division II finals. These were the semifinals. Ferris State over Newberry, 49-14, and Harding over Kutztown 49-26. So that sets up the Division II finals this Saturday. Harding at Ferris State, so it's going to be just an hour north of us, or a little over an hour north of us. 4 o'clock, and the game's going to be on ESPN2, so we will know our Division II champion, and it could be Ferris State again. They've won a couple in the last few years, so they're a pretty darn good team. And we'll find out this weekend who's the AF or the Division II champion. Moving on to Division III. Did you want to say something else?
Oh, no, I was just agreeing with you. You're good.
Oh, okay. Division III playoffs. That's the quarterfinals in Division III. John Carroll over Barry, 21-13. North Central of Illinois over Bethel of Minnesota, 35-21. Johns Hopkins over Susquehanna, 40-10. And University of Wisconsin River Falls over Wheaton of Illinois, 46-21. Now at the NAIA level, it is semifinals there. So it was Keyser of Florida over the College of Idaho, 36-27, and it was Grandview over Benedictine of Kansas, 17-10. So that now sets up the finals this weekend, this Saturday, where it's going to be Grandview versus Keyser of Florida at noon Central Time, and that game is going to take place in Fort Worth, Texas. Nice and warm down there, I hope.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right, and then there's only one National Junior College Athletic Association game left, and that is tomorrow, the Division I championship game between Iowa Western and Hutchinson in Canyon, Texas. So we'll be done with those two divisions, Division II and NJCAA after this coming weekend. So yeah, college football is kind of coming to an end, and all we're going to have left pretty soon are the big time bowl games and the college playoff games heading for the national championship in January.
Heck yeah.
Okay, now I guess it's time to go across the ocean. You got a video from Greg this week from Japan?
I sure do, as I cue it up right here. Our man in Japan, Greg St. James, is here to fill us in on all the happenings over in Japan as that season winds down. And this week, he's not doing it alone. So we're going to throw it over to our friend Greg and let him fill you guys in.
All right. And now we're off across the Pacific, where our man in Japan, Greg St. James, has all the news from the land of the rising sun.
Hey, everybody. It is Greg St. James here with Gridiron Japan, and I am joined for this scoreboard report with longtime fan of the show and longtime fan and longtime friend of the show, Mike Tackett. And Mike and I are here to give you the scores from this past weekend in X League and college play here in Japan. And, Mike, we had welcome aboard. I appreciate you kind of being my co-pilot on this moving forward between now and into 2026.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be a part of the show.
I truly appreciate it. I did this. I've been doing this part of the scoreboard for like a year, by myself. I mean, one time I had John on, but this works out perfect because the rest of the crew, they're usually out. We're morning time here in Japan. You're in the evening there in the States. So morning time, especially on a Monday morning here in Japan, it's Sunday night where you're at. But the guys are busy doing stuff. I mean, I'm kind of the lone guy that Monday I don't have a whole lot on my plate, whereas the other guys are out working, practicing, doing what they got to do, So, but having you over there in the swamplands of Florida, this is going to work out perfect. So I appreciate you, not only doing the scoreboard with me, but moving forward here in 2026, we're going to cover more of the college game. And, you're kind of our college football expert anyway, because, you pay more attention to the college game being in the South than I know at least I do here in Japan and being from the Midwest. And of course, time change also, the time difference helps us out here. But yeah, you're very tuned into the college game here in Japan, which, I appreciate. So, But with that said, everybody's waiting on the scores here. So instead of me, yammering on here, let's go right into the scores, and then we'll wrap everything up and hand it back over to Randy and Adam there at the World of Football, and then we'll talk to everybody next week with some more football scores. So, all right, buddy, lead us off.
Yeah, I think that there were some great semifinal games. Start with Fujitsu. They actually lost to Panasonic 23-20, and I think a lot of us were surprised, but some of us maybe not so much. Fujitsu is always the powerhouse that you always see in the Rice Bowl, and Panasonic's always on their tail, and it finally caught up with them. So we have Panasonic beating Fujitsu 23-20, and then Obic beat Tokyo Gas Creators by a score of 35-9. So some great football in the semifinals, and definitely looking forward to the Rice Bowl between Panasonic and Obic. And then in the college level, the Panthers won their second straight national championship, beating the KG Fighters 38-14.
Yeah, the Ritsumakian Panthers. It was an all Kansai Koshin Bowl, and Ritsumakian and KG. Yeah, that was it was kind of a surprising score, that one. In fact, when I was watching literally the opening series, KG, the Panthers just kind of came out and punched KG in the mouth that first set of downs. And I'm like, oh yeah, I think I know how this game's going. And going back to the Panasonic Fujitsu game. So the Panasonic, that game went literally right down to the wire on a last second field goal by Panasonic. It looked like we were going in overtime. Fujitsu had an opportunity to win it, but their field goal kicker came up real short on the attempt. And, Panasonic marched the ball down and booted it right through. But with that said, this was the fourth loss by Fujitsu this calendar year. So the first loss by Fujitsu was in the Rice Bowl against Panasonic. And then they had two losses in the regular season. And then they're ending the year on yet another loss to Panasonic. So it'll be interesting to see how things go for Fujitsu in the coming year. I know I did see on Instagram their coach saying, telling their guys, hey, suck it up, and we're gonna, made it very clear that they may not have succeeded this year, but do not count them out moving forward. And Fujitsu is always a powerhouse. But as we know in football, on any given Sunday, anything can happen. And I was hoping that that would hold true with the Tokyo Gas game against Obic, because, when we do our picks here on the show, if you remember, I picked Fujitsu to win, and I was calling for the upset with Tokyo Gas, and neither one of those panned out. So, but so hey, Mike, thanks for doing the scores for us for this weekend, and we're going to come back next weekend to give people more scores. We've got the area championship that's going to be going on next weekend, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other scores that we just don't know about yet. But you've got X2. We got to catch up on what's going on in X2 and X3, and also find out what's going on with the high school, because the high school championship is coming up. It's going to be coming up on December 25th, but it's the Christmas Bowl, and that's the national high school championship here in Japan. So we're going to have more scores to report, at least, between now and the next weekend, and then following on with the Rice Bowl, and the Christmas Bowl. So, all right, listen, Mike, on behalf, thanks, we'll be, how do I want to say, I'm working without a net here. But no, thanks for doing the scores with me this weekend. And everybody who is listening or watching on YouTube, if you are curious about what's going on with football here in Japan, whether it be at the pro level, the college level, or even the high school level, you can check out gridironjapan.jp. We've got links to pretty much everything American football related here in Japan. And you can Google us, and if If you forget to add the JP at the end, you just type in Gridiron Japan on Google, and I think we're like the third entry up. And we're going to be moving into 2026, going to be doing more of these shows on a regular basis. So, you'll be hearing a lot more for us. So, on behalf of Mike and myself and John and Aaron and the rest of the crew, all the team, even our past co-host Zach and BJ, thank you very much for tuning in, and we will be talking to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks again to Greg, and another round of scores this week. Again, thanks to his new co-host swinging by as well. So
yeah, I had a few scores that the Koshen Bowl, the college national championship. I had the two teams written down just in case he didn't come through with a video this week, and I'm so glad he did, because I would not have been able to pronounce Ritsumikan Panthers, and he called them KG, but it's Kwanzai Gakuin, I think. So I didn't want to have to massacre those names, so I'm glad he came up with that. And I never even thought about high school football in Japan, having the Christmas Bowl and a high school championship. That would be interesting to me too. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to Greg and his new guy there, Mike Tackett, talking about high school football in Japan. I'd love to see some highlights of those too.
Yep. And before we go any further, real quick, I do want to address something that's happening in the chat right now. I'm not going to put it on screen, but we do have somebody in the chat right now on YouTube talking about how they are part of that International Arena League, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
And how they were supposedly, I'm not trying to discredit you, JMYOKU, but claiming that they were part of the documentary, or they were in the documentary, this league's a scam, and there's a lot of comments going on in there. So it's not that we don't believe you. I don't want to throw all that up on screen because we gotta move along on the show. So that's interesting stuff. I also saw that they commented on that video we did about that league. So not shocked if true, but we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. So
yeah, there was supposed to be there was supposed to be a second documentary. I think it was supposed to come out any day now. It might have come out yesterday. It might have been on the 15th of December, and I haven't found it yet. But I was going to watch it when it did come out. So because they were supposed to announce the name of the 12th team, I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll take a quick look before we move on because, I don't remember a date for that one. But
it was around the December 15th. Maybe it's today. Maybe it's the 17th. I'm not sure.
Well, as of right now, they got nothing. So it's all good. Okay. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that that's going on in the chat. And I'm not trying to discredit them. I'm just letting people know if you want to go check that out. It's in the live chat. A lot of details there supposedly about how this league's a scam. Again, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know yet. I know we all have our suspicions. We've talked about it ad nauseum. So, so yeah.
But let's talk about some indoor and arena football that is going to be played this year, and the Arena Football 1 announced their schedule. Finally, we've been teasing about this for so long, and we finally got it. So we have the complete schedule. Now, not all of the exact dates are in place yet. They're not set in stone. So if you look at the very top of each column, it gives you the weekend. You've got, the first week is April 10th through the 12th. So the actual dates have not been nailed down for a lot of these games, but some have. They are starting to. I think the game between the Michigan Arsenal and the Albany Firebirds is now set for Friday, June 21st. So I mean that's one, and they've got another one against Washington. I
think the Firebirds have more of their dates locked down.
Sure. Yes.
So if you're playing the Firebirds, you might know, or at least in Albany, you at least might know right now more concrete how and what time or when and what time those are all going to be taking place. But yeah, so we got the full schedule. We mentioned it up top. We did a video for Inside the Arsenal. It's coming out soon. We talked about the Arsenal schedule, but let's talk about the schedule as a whole. What sticks out to you?
Well, the fact that Michigan plays Minnesota 3 times, twice at home and 1 away. There's a lot of great matchups. And like I was saying when we recorded our video about this, having the schedule come out, I wasn't expecting this, but I got just so excited to see the matchups and who's going to be playing where and who's going to travel where and whatnot. The first 2 games for Michigan, I thought, are both road games, but you and I both looked at each other like we want to go to both of those away games. The first one is in Kentucky, and then the second one's in Nashville. So those are within driving distance for us, and I'm just I really do want to go to those games. I don't know if we will or not, but and then the Arsenal have 4 straight home games after that, and then 3 straight away games towards the end of the season.
Don't give everything away, Randy. I said we talk about the Arsenal in a different. So talk about everything else. But real quick, Dale makes a good comment. Obviously this is the reason why. The reason Albany's schedule has been locked down. Their indoor lacrosse team moved, so they don't have to share that arena. That's right. Arena availability is the phrase you're going to hear a lot with a lot of this stuff. So if there's a lot of question marks, if there's a lot of like, gee, why does Albany end the season with 2 out of 3 bye weeks to end the year? It's probably arena availability, guys. I don't think the league is trying to give them that kind of luxury to end the year. I hope that's not the case. I think it's just how that worked out. Michigan also has 2 out of 3 byes to end the year. So I'm not going to sit here and say there's a big conspiracy theory. What's interesting, though, my big takeaway. So already on top of it, you have Oregon and Washington's rivalry. They're going to play 4 times. 4 out of your 12 games. A third of your schedule is playing one team. And I get it. Regionally, that makes sense. Yeah. What doesn't make sense to me, Randy, is this. How many times do those 2 teams play the Oceanside Bombers, also out there on the West Coast?
I didn't even look at that. Do they play them at all?
Oregon plays them once, and Washington then plays them once as well.
Wow. Okay.
You have a third team out there on the West Coast, and you can't figure out something to get, Oceanside up there. Oceanside's got to go all over the dang place. And then, I mean, Beaumont's already kind of on their own little island down in Texas, so they got to do a lot of traveling too. But they go to Oceanside they play Oceanside 3 times.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a lot. I know in the press release they talked about it being a coast to coast. We dive into the press release in our Arsenal video, but I get it. I hope the travel doesn't become an issue later on in the year, because another big takeaway I see just kind of looking at the schedule is like Minnesota opens up with 4 of their first 5 weeks are road games. They have a bye wedged in there, but they're on the road. They don't have their first home game till week 7. So they have 2 byes, 4 road games before they get their first home game in week 7 against the Nashville Cats. Absolutely wild to me. Again, arena availability, maybe. I assume that's the problem. I don't think you're trying to make a team play that long of a road schedule to start your season. So,
yeah, but I'm glad that the schedule is out. The season starts the weekend of April 11th and 12th, and the regular season is going to end July 17th through the 19th that weekend. Got 9 teams in the AF1 this year. They're playing a 12-game schedule over 15 weeks, and everybody gets 3 byes. So, there you go. And another league that also put out their schedule was the Arena League. They put out their schedule last weekend. They're going to begin their season on Friday, May 29th and end on July 25th. They're all playing 8 games this year over 9 weeks.
Man, I wish you would have given me a better graphic. That thing is blurry as heck. I'm going to see if I can't find a better one.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, continue on.
The first one I grabbed. But so the 9 weeks, 8 teams, 8 games, and 3 of their new teams don't even have names yet. They've got a franchise in Monroe, Louisiana, Grand Island, Nebraska, and Memphis, Tennessee. They're still working on name the team contests and trying to get fan input and all that for those 3 teams. 2 of them, they're all 3 expansion teams, I guess. So that's what's going on with the Arena League. So we had over the weekend we had 2 leagues both announced their schedules, and it's getting real. We've got dates for all the indoor and arena leagues now.
So as you can see on screen, this is the image Randy sent me, and here's the one I literally just downloaded. Look at how crystal clear that is, Randy. I don't know where you're downloading crap. Are you still using
mine was bigger
over there?
My graphic was bigger, even if it was blurry. So I don't think too many people were going to be looking game by game. but
maybe,
it just
maybe
gives you an
not. But
idea.
I'm still excited. That also of note there that week 6, a league-wide bye for all
Right.
those teams, so they're
Yep.
going to take a week off. I think that's cool. Should be interesting. We're kind of closet. Well, not even closet. I mean, we're kind of Ozark Lunkers fans, I guess, right now. Unless another team wants to buy our loyalty, hit us up, info@theworldoffootball.com. But we'll see what kind of cool names these new franchises in Monroe and Memphis and Grand Island come up with. So we'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
I'm excited. I'm curious what their streaming will be like this year. I hope it's a little step up from last year. But the Arena League's done a lot of good stuff. They got a lot of stuff to clean up, in my opinion. But they're a fun little league to keep checking out. That's why we talk about them. And obviously, all their team names are a lot of fun. They're pretty unique.
Okay, let's move on to the last little bit for today. Peyton's Places on ESPN. Season 5 is out right now, and I talked last week about the first episode, and I've watched 3 more episodes the last couple of days. I love Peyton's Places. I completely forgot that it was even coming out again this year, and I'm really enjoying these episodes. Episode 2 was called A Sneak Attack, and it was all about the Philly Tush Push. He had Jason Kelsey on with him, and they actually ran the Tush Push play against a team, a bunch of players from Temple University, and they had Kelsey as the quarterback and Peyton as the center. And Kelsey's telling him, this is what you got to do as the center. You got to lead the way, and you got to do this, and don't, you got to put your head down and your butt's in the air, and so it was really kind of funny, and it was a great episode. One thing I did like is that they were talking about the history of the quarterback sneak, and they showed the graph or the highlight of Greg Landry from back in the 1970s, where he had a 76-yard quarterback sneak in a game, and that's, as Lions fans, we know all about that. But it was cool that they included that one in there. So that was a good episode. Episode 3 was called The Harbaugh Files, and he talked with the Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh, and I guess I didn't know this, but at his press conference, he said the reason he chose San Diego is because he was a big fan of the TV show The Rockford Files when he was growing up, starring James Garner. I'm sure you don't remember that show, but your mom loved that show. She was a big, Jim Garner fan, and we're both very familiar with the show. So they were doing a lot of things in this episode and comparing, they had a lot of highlights from the TV series. And so it was just a lot of fun. People of a certain age will get a kick out of this episode if you remember the Rockford Files. If not, you may not enjoy it so much, but it was just a lot of fun. And then the last episode I saw was episode 4, and the name of the episode was Lies, Damn Lies, and Statistics, which is a quote from Mark Twain, where he talked about there are 3 types of lies in the world. There's lies, damn lies, and statistics. This episode was all about the quarterback passer efficiency rating. How do they come up with that? What's the formula for that and all that? And nobody understands it. But he and Kirk Cousins went to the Elias Sports Bureau and talked to some people about the history of the quarterback rating system and how they come up with the number and all that. It was interesting, fascinating. But the passer rating didn't even come around until 1973. And they showed all these, like handwritten index cards where they, figured out the quarterback rating based on different criteria. And it's changed a lot over the years. So that was an interesting episode too. So I just love this series. There's so many cool things. Peyton is such a good guy to host this show. He's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see some more. And I'll talk about some more episodes next week. But if you get a chance, go to ESPN or ESPN Plus, actually, and check out Peyton's Places. They're in their 5th season, and he's done some really, really good stuff out there.
Start paying Randy ESPN and Peyton Manning, because he talks this show up like nobody I've ever heard of.
I love these shows. And even Eli's got a show, Eli's Places, where he talks about college football. And I'm not sure if he's got one this season going on. He probably does, and I'm not aware of it yet. But if he does, I'm going to check those out too. So anyway.
All right, Randy, as always, we thank you for stopping by and telling us about a TV show that's way in the rearview mirror that you're just now discovering now that you have high-speed internet. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. All right, let's move on to today's birthdays and anniversaries for December 16th. We got a couple of birthdays. Coach Buddy Parker Born on this date in 1913, he passed away in 1985 at the age of 68. He played college football at North Texas and played 9 seasons in the NFL. He played for the Lions for 2 seasons, for 1935 and 1936, and he won an NFL title with the Lions as a player in 1935. He then went on to play for the Chicago Cardinals from 36 to 43. He was also the head coach of the Cardinals in 1949, and he was a head coach of the Detroit Lions from 1951 to 56. Led that team to 2 NFL titles in 1952 and 53. And then on the eve of the 1957 season, he quit abruptly and went to coach the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he coached the Steelers from 57 to 64. And he's been talked about as a candidate for the Hall of Fame a couple of times. Hasn't quite made it yet, but Coach Buddy Parker, very familiar with him as a Lions fan. And then the other birthday is defensive tackle and defensive end William the Refrigerator Perry. I don't have his birthday down here. Forgot to put his birthday. Anyway, he played his college football at Clemson, and he was the 22nd overall pick in the 1985 NFL draft by the Chicago Bears. He played 12 seasons in the NFL. He was with the Bears from 85 to 93 and won Super Bowl 20 in his rookie season. He also played for the Eagles 94 to 95, and he finished his career, oddly enough, with the London Monarchs of the World League of American Football in 1996. I don't think he played a whole lot. He was injured and really beat up from his career by the time he got there, so he didn't play a whole lot. It was more of a marketing thing, but he did play for them a little bit. All right, we've got 3 obituaries to talk about today. This is where we take a moment and we honor those who've made the world of football a better place. The first one is that of Paul Wiggin, a defensive end in the NFL for 11 seasons. He's passed away at the age of 91. Wiggin played college football at Modesto Junior College and at Stanford. He was selected in the 6th round of the 1956 NFL draft by the Cleveland Browns. He played his entire career with the Browns from 57 to 67, winning an NFL title in 1964. After he retired as a player, Wiggin went into coaching. He was an assistant coach with the San Francisco 49ers from 68 to 74, head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs from 75 to 77, and an assistant coach with the New Orleans Saints from 78 to 79. He then returned to the college ranks, where he was the head coach at Stanford from 1980 to 1983. He finished his coaching career as an assistant with the Minnesota Vikings from 85 to 91. Wiggin was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2005 and the Cleveland Browns Legends Club in 2008.
All right. Our next obituary is that of Whitney Paul, a linebacker and defensive end in the NFL for 11 seasons, has passed away at the age of 72. Paul played college football at Colorado and was selected in the 10th round of the 1976 NFL draft by the Kansas City Chiefs. He played for the Chiefs from 1976 to 1981, the New Orleans Saints from 1982 to 1985, and finished his playing career back with the Chiefs in 1986.
Our final obituary today is that of George Mira Sr., a quarterback in the NFL for 7 seasons. He has passed away at the age of 83. Mira played college football at the University of Miami and was selected in the 2nd round of the 1964 NFL draft by the San Francisco 49ers. He was also selected in the 18th round of the 1964 American Football League draft by the Denver Broncos. He signed with the 49ers and played for the team from 1964 to 1968. He also played for the Philadelphia Eagles in 1969 and the Miami Dolphins in 1971. All right, looking ahead to our upcoming events calendar, we have on Saturday, January 3rd, the Rice Bowl in Japan, which is going to see the Panasonic Impulse taking on the Obik Seagulls. On Monday, January 19th, the College Football National Championship game will be played in Miami on ESPN. Sunday, February 8th is going to be the Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California. And finally, Tuesday, February 10th, is going to be our last show for a while, as we usually take a break after the Super Bowl to decompress over a long season of episodes. So that'll be episode 342. We're not going anywhere. We're going to work on some special projects and just take some time away from the weekly show that we do, but we'll be coming back to talk arena and indoor football sometime after that. Not sure exactly how long we're going to be taking a break, but we need it. Both of our wives, I think, are going to appreciate us not doing a weekly podcast for a change.
Yeah, I think that'll be very welcome. We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah.
But until then, guys, we're not going anywhere.
No.
Especially tonight, if you're looking for more of these two mugs on your screen, as we will be joining Off the Wall. If you missed the announcement earlier in the show, or when Randy was able to slide that in the middle of the show, Arena Football Antiques home show tonight, 7:00 Eastern, on the Off the Wall YouTube channel. Guys, if you're not following Off the Wall, what are you doing? Are you out your damn minds? Go over there and check us out. It's going to be Trey, the host, your master of ceremonies, if you will, leading this thing over on his YouTube channel, inviting ourselves over there, as well as our friends from AF1 Fan Zone, that being Scott Burke and our friend Tim Capper. Should be a lot of fun. Very anxious to see what kind of memorabilia the other guys are going to have to show off.
Yeah.
Randy's got a bunch of stuff sitting around him.
Yep.
And we'll probably also talk about the state of the arena football sphere as of right now, too. Probably getting some chit-chatting. And so, yeah, be a part of that. Join the live chat, guys. It'll be a lot of fun, I think, tonight. Who knows what kind of Randy shenanigans is going to happen. And then Trey will eventually clip and then post on his TikTok and Instagram and other social feeds to further embarrass Randy. I'm looking forward to it.
You say shenanigans. I say mischief and mayhem will ensue.
I like that. Yeah, 7:00 tonight.
All right. Anything pop up on your screen before we call this a show?
No. I do want to say I appreciate everybody in the chat. I know I didn't show as many comments. We're trying to, because of us having to do the live show, we're trying to just get to this show. Give you guys, we got less than 2 hours till that next live show will be on. So we got to fuel up. Randy's got to get through his wardrobe malfunction. He's got to find that Explodey the Coyote costume that he's got somewhere in one of his closets from the old Continental Indoor Football League days.
I wish I had that. I wish I had
I'm
that.
sure it's smelly as hell, but I got nothing else. So appreciate everybody.
All right. Well, that's all the time we've got for this week, folks. Don't forget to check out the World of Football merchandise at teepublic.com. That's teepublic.com for the latest in our football-related T-shirts, hats, mugs, and more from our merch store. And remember, folks, some people may love football more than we do, but nobody, and I mean nobody, loves more football than the two of us guys sitting here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, talking about all things football. Join us again next time when we'll try and do a better job. Yeah, right. Until then, I'm Randy Snow.
And I'm Adam Snow.
We'll see you all again next week.
Thanks again for checking out this edition of This Week in the World of Football. New episodes of the show are posted every Tuesday and can be found wherever good podcasts are available. You can find the World of Football on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Threads by searching for TWOF Kalamazoo or using the links in the episode description below. Be sure to subscribe to the World of Football on YouTube for more great football-related content. Just search for the World of Football Kalamazoo or use the handle @TheWorldOfFootball to find us. Remember, every like, comment, and subscription really does help us out, and we appreciate you for that support. We hope to see you again next time.